Okay, we're here with a PV Wolfgang 97 USA archtop. Just a few things I'm going to go over in terms of the setup that I'm having a little bit of trouble with. Hopefully someone can give me some advice here. First we're going to talk about the truss rod, and then I'll get to the bridge over here with the action. So with the truss rod, I'm just going to put a capo down on the first fret and show you the relief, and then explain what happens when I try to crank the rod, so just give me a second. Okay, so the 8th fret is right here. Let's see if I can angle this a little better. This is the 8th right here. So this feeler gauge is 0.22 of an inch. So fretting down the last fret, you can see that I'm able to slip this feeler gauge, barely moving the string. It's a little bit tight here. So right about there. So that's 0.22. The PV recommended gap is 0.05, I believe, to 0.005 to 0.015. So what I'm going to do now is crank the truss rod, and if it's bigger than a quarter turn, I'll stop the video and put it back after I've let the wood reset. You can see that it's turning relatively easy. It starts to get a little bit stiffer here. Just stop it there because it's starting to get pretty stiff. You can hear the neck kind of creaking a bit. So now I'm just going to take out a few lighter, thinner feeler gauges and see where we're at on the 8th fret. Sorry about that. So we'll try 0.015 at the 8th fret. And that's right about where we are right now. 0.015. So if I try and crank the rod any further, it's starting to get real stiff, and it feels like it's pretty much at the end range. It's not, you can see it's not budging here, and I don't want to over tighten it. If I pull it back a little bit, it sounds like inside the neck a little bit creaking. So once again, even with 0.015, there's still a tiny bit of a gap, and that's as far as the neck can go. Now I'll demonstrate the problem with the bridge. So if you can see in the light here, sorry, let me put this back. It's kind of hard to to see in the dark, but it's entirely flush, touching the back of the body right here. If I lift it up, you can hear it hit the body, so it's entirely pulled down, and there are the 3 springs, relatively tight. And now you can hear, with a little bit of whammy use, it's fine, but as soon as I go to dive it, come back up, it's all sharp. This is the angle of the bridge as I have it at right now. It's hard to see because of the arch top, but in my opinion that's relatively parallel, and for some reason it's not coming back up properly. I'm not sure. I've heard some people say that their bridge is angled down a little bit like this, and the way I see it is, as soon as I start to crank these back to put the bridge even like this, getting really high action right here. See this down at the last fret here. This measures, let's see. This is measuring about over 2 millimeters, about 2.5, just on the top of 2 millimeters. So I'm not sure if this is the way the guitar is supposed to be, or whether there's supposed to be a shim in the neck here. Someone at PV recommended also to put a washer in the nut here for the truss rod, but I need a little bit of clarification on how that works. So once again, there's the action at the last fret, and you can hear that it's all out of tune now.